Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about MLFoundry's machine learning monitoring and experiment tracking solution. How you can use this in your own project as part of any Jupyter notebook, as part of any machine learning project that you're working on, and actually build out a production grade monitoring and experiment tracking solution. And this is super easy to start with because you can simply pip install our library using this command directly from a Jupyter notebook and import the library. So here basically what we're doing is we import this library and get a monitoring client, what we called MLFoundry. We're getting a MLFoundry client, and then we are creating a project which is speech emotions project, and we are assigning the name to our experiment, where in this case we are working with, let's say, a deep learning model. And this experiment is like a single run. You can think of one experiment as one particular model and a combination of its own parameters and any hyperparameters that you're passing to that particular model. That's it. This initializes your client, and then all you have to do in the code is you basically write down wherever you're computing your metrics, you write down some metrics, you log your metrics. Similarly, for your model parameters, you can log your model parameters here, and you can basically just move forward with logging any data set. So here, let's dive a little bit deeper into the detail here. So what we are doing is we are logging the dataset stats. And as an input, what we are taking is our training data. So the data frame that was used to train the model. And we provide the logger, the API with an example of that this itself is a training data. And we are providing the schema of our training data. So the schema is basically the list of your feature column names, your prediction column name, your target column name, which is also called actual column name. And then if you have a prediction probabilities that you are computing, you can provide that. Lastly, you provide that this is what type of machine learning model are you working on. So in this case, it happens to be multi-class classification problem. And this function, not only does it log a summary of your dataset, it actually computes a lot of important metrics that you will be able to visualize on our dashboard. And we will look at it how. Similarly, you log your testing dataset, so we can actually compare your metrics across your training and testing dataset as well. That's pretty much it. You log these lines here, and then you can start a server again directly from your Jupyter notebook, where all you have to do is type a command MLFoundry UI, and if you want, you can provide a path, which is in this case happens to be the current repository, current directory, or by default it takes the same path. So even if you remove this thing, it will work the same way. And this basically starts a server where you can go and track all the model and metrics that you have logged, and also that something that system has computed automatically by logging the dataset stats. So let's take a look at the dashboard here. So here on the dashboard, you're able to see that you have a model view where you can track your project and any experiments that you have under this project. So let's say we are tracking the grid search experiment that we have conducted, and we are able to track our metrics that we have logged. So for example, you have your ROC curve, PR curve, your confusion matrix, which was automatically computed based on your data set that you have logged, and also a lot of metrics that we have generated based on the type of model that you're working on, like log loss, accuracy, Cohen-Kappa score, etc. Besides this, you can also check your data. That is, if you have any kind of null values in your data, what are the basic stats about your data, you're able to track all of that, and that too even column wise right here. And lastly, you can also track your feature distributions across your prediction and target data set, and you can track the distribution of any of these features. Besides this, you can compare the performance of different models that you have built out by different runs or the different experiment IDs, and check out these metrics as part of the dashboard. And if you want to add more details to your logger, you can always follow our documentation, which is available at truefoundry.gitbook.io, and you can go to quick start, or you can read through the details of our APIs. Thank you so much for listening.